Hello, guys. Welcome back to episode 25 of Ladies First. Yes, guys, we've made it to episode 25 of Ladies First. Been doing this show since August of 2020, and we are now episode 25 in March of 2021. I would like to thank everybody for their support, and let's keep going. We're a quarter of a way from 100. I can't wait till I get to episode 50, episode 75, episode 100. I'm going to see if I can do a giveaway for these monumental episodes. I'm going to see if I can give away something. All right, guys, before I get started, my face looks like this because my face is peeling. I am currently going through a chemical peel. So I put some vitamin A and D oil on my face so that you guys won't see my face completely peeling on camera. But this will be the only week I think you guys will see my face look like this because I'm currently going through a chemical peel. So let me get that out the way. Amber, your face is extremely shiny and extremely oily. Yes, I have vitamin A and D on my face to stop, the peeling from showing because my peeling is becoming more aggressive. So my whole face will be peeling this weekend. And when I do Count the Bucket, if you guys watch Count the Bucket, you'll see my face look like this again because the peeling will become more aggressive, like it'll be all over my face. But by the time next week comes, I'm also doing All-Star Weekend. So the Unwrapped Sports Network and Hoops Unwrapped is doing All-Star Weekend as well. So my face will look like this for the next 3 or 4 days. Don't be alarmed. It's just cream. So you guys won't see the peeling. You guys actually can't see the residue that much, but you see the shininess around my face. That's because it's peeling and I'm putting cream on that. So I want to knock that out the way. If I look in the mirror without this cream on my face, it's just peeling. If you've ever seen a chemical peel, then you know exactly what that looks like. All right, now that I told you guys, the happenings and things like that and why my face looks the way it does, let's check this out. teespring.com/store/unwrapped. Get all of your Unwrapped Sports Network gear. I have my gear for Ladies First. Well, guys, of course, you guys know I got my mug here as well. You can get all your gear. A lot of LeBron fans in the Unwrapped Sports Network. So you see the LeBron gear. You see this unwrapped gear here. Phone cases. We got the hard count, the prop bros. We got fights, generational sports, generational Z, of course. The Fourth Man Pod. You got the People's XFL show. Of course, you got Ladies First. Saturday Standouts, Backstop Banter. They go on at 9 my time, which is 9 Central, 10 Eastern. You got Business Casuals. That's Aaron. He just went on. Him and CJ did a show today. Keeping It Blunt with Perry and Caleb. They also have a YouTube channel. Keeping It Blunt has a YouTube channel. So you guys go check out the Keeping It Blunt YouTube channel. Also, we have, let me go here. Let me share. Oh, nope. Here we go. RX Hemp. RxHemp.com. Use the code RxHemp/USN and get 10% off of your entire order. It's a CBD pain relief cream. We got cool and warm therapy. Check out all this great stuff here for you guys if you work out. And we have Celebrity Believers. It's made with all natural products. So you guys can check that out on RxHemp.com/USN. Get 10% off of your entire order. Also, we have the Patreon. We have the Patreon, guys. Join us. Become a fan, become a part of the family, or become VIP. It takes $1 to join and just be general support. $5, you become a part of the family. You get 10% off with a Patreon code to the Unwrapped Sports Teespring shop. You get access to the Discord. We've had fun in the Discord. Let me tell you, we're having a lot of fun in the Discord chat. Also, you can be a part of the VIP, $10 per month. They get you 20% off. It also gets you the $10 Amazon gift card and the Keenan Allen jersey. So I found out yesterday, guys, I am super excited. I found out yesterday through the Discord chat that I am the winner of the Keenan Allen jersey. I wish I can do some applause or something. So let me just do it in my mic. I am the winner of the Keenan Allen jersey. So I told you guys I never win anything. So if I was to win something, I'm going to put it in a frame and put it on my wall behind me, and you will see it in every stream. Don't worry. As soon as I get the jersey, I'm buying a frame from Amazon, and I will be putting that on my wall behind me. You guys will see it because I never win anything. I am a part of the $10 a month VIP, so I was eligible to win that jersey. Thank you, Perry, for the jersey. I really appreciate it. I am super duper duper excited for finally winning something, and also supporting my Unwrapped Sports Network family. Also, a lot of betting, guys. A lot of betting going on. I've cooled off from betting. I've taken a couple of days off. I'll probably get back on it after the All-Star break. But mybookie.ag, use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. See, it's bracket season. It's March Madness. That's what we're going to be talking about today. You got Bitcoin. You got casino, slot games. It's a lot to bet on right now. There are a lot of things to bet on. So check out mybookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. All right, guys. Like I said, it's March Madness. Whoo! Yes. And the Women's Conference Championship tournaments have started. The SEC started yesterday. The Pac-12 is currently going on right now. So we got the Pac-12, the SEC. Let me see who else is playing. Pac-12, SEC. I don't think the Big Ten tournament has started just yet. There's some tournaments starting this weekend. I think the Big Ten and the Big 12 are probably going to start this weekend because they're still playing games right now. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. So March the 3rd, we had Big East, not Big East, but the SEC action. And I believe Florida, was it Florida that played? Let me see. I want to make sure that I'm right. Yeah, Florida beat Auburn. So that was the only game that happened yesterday. Florida beat Auburn 69-62. And then they lost today to Kentucky. So they lost today to Kentucky. The first top four seeds get a double bye. So South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas A&M don't play until Friday, if I'm remembering correctly, or Saturday. Yeah, they play Friday. They play Friday. So those top four seeds don't play until Friday, which is Texas A&M, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee all play on Friday. The matchup with Texas A&M has already been set. They are playing LSU. Kentucky will be playing Georgia. South Carolina is to be announced, and Tennessee is to be announced. Now, Texas A&M did beat South Carolina, so they did win the SEC regular season title, I guess you can call it. So congratulations to Texas A&M and Gary Blair. They did win the SEC regular season title because they did beat South Carolina. So those are your top four seeds: Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, and Texas A&M. That Kentucky-Georgia game could be very interesting. I guess if Kentucky won that, it would be an upset of Georgia. I could see that. I could see the way Rain Howard is playing. I really could see that being an upset there. So that'd be very interesting to watch. I'm super excited to follow the tournament and to watch as many games as I can. I have so much to watch, so much to pay attention to, but I'm trying to watch as many games as I can. But best believe I will be watching the Final Four, which would be the semifinals of the SEC, of all the tournaments: the Pac-12, the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big East, the Big 12. I'm going to watch as many of those as I can, as many championships as I can, while also trying to keep up with the men's side, because men's tournaments don't start until the week after. But there are some conferences that have not started yet as well. So I have to keep up with all of that and try to compact all that in, because most of these shows, like I told you guys before, in the month of March, will be about March Madness, will be about the women's and the men's teams. I will sprinkle in some NBA news, NFL news, but it won't be very much because I'm trying to keep my show under an hour. I know I started a little late tonight, and I know that the All-Star draft is happening right now, but I'll be talking about that on Count the Bucket with Michael on Saturday. Also, the Unwrapped Sports Network will be doing All-Star Weekend, so I'm very excited about that. But these shows on Ladies First from March until April, the first week of April, which is when the national tournament is played, national title game, is played for the men's and women's, will be all about March Madness because it's so exciting. So these conference tournaments have started for the women. Like I said, next week, the men will start. I am so intrigued by some of these matchups. Now, you always have upsets. There are upsets that happen. Right now, Washington State's playing Arizona. Stanford beat USC pretty handily in the Pac-12 tournament. Maryland and Michigan played, but the Big Ten haven't started their conference tournament yet. UCF upset South Florida. Their conference tournament has not started yet either. Of course, Kentucky beat Florida in the second round of the SEC tournament. This is the upset. Oregon, well, kind of an upset, I guess you can say. Oregon State, in-state rivals. Oregon State beat Oregon 71-64 in the Pac-12 quarterfinal. So that was an upset. Ole Miss is playing Arkansas tonight in the second round, and Washington is playing UCLA in the quarterfinal tonight as well. So a lot of great action. There's already been an upset. Can Kentucky pull off the upset against Georgia? Can LSU pull off the upset against Texas A&M tomorrow? So many things to look forward to. I'm guessing this. So the winner of Ole Miss and Arkansas plays South Carolina, because Tennessee's matchup hasn't been announced either, but there's only 2 games. Let me see. Let me look at the SEC. I'm trying to get you guys the matchups that are going to happen tomorrow. Because Alabama beat Missouri. LSU beat Mississippi State, which is an upset. Mississippi State has just not played well this year at all. So Alabama and Missouri played. So I'm assuming that South Carolina is playing Alabama, and the winner of Ole Miss Arkansas plays Tennessee, because I believe that South Carolina has a better record than Tennessee, and South Carolina was probably the number 2 seed in the SEC. So therefore, they get that lowest ranked team. I'm assuming. I'm trying to think about this correctly. I think Alabama's playing South Carolina, and the winner of Ole Miss Arkansas is going to play Tennessee. Let's hope that I'm right. Hope that I'm right. Hope that I'm right. I think that's the case. They haven't put the teams on here yet, but South Carolina plays tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central, and Tennessee plays at 7:30 Central. So the final 8 will be set by the end of the night. We're going to go ahead and say Alabama's going to play South Carolina because they beat Missouri, and the winner of Ole Miss and Arkansas is going to play Tennessee. That's what we're going to go ahead and assume. Now, let's look at bracketology. Now, the bracketology has changed. The bracketology has changed for the women. Like I said, A&M upset South Carolina, won the SEC regular season title outright. Top overall seed, UConn. The first team out is BYU. The last team in is Notre Dame. This was updated on the 2nd. So today is the 4th. So Charlie Cream updated this on the 2nd. So first 4 out: BYU, Wake Forest, Houston, and Oklahoma. Oklahoma just lost to TCU tonight. It doesn't help their chances, but they still have the Big 12 tournament to play, and they have one more game, I believe, left to play. We got the last 4 in. We got South Dakota, Michigan State, Washington State, Notre Dame. Washington State is currently playing Arizona right now. If they could upset Arizona, they would help their chances. Let's see, next four out: Seton Hall, Colorado, Miami, and Ole Miss. Ole Miss beats Arkansas tonight and then turns around and beats Tennessee. If that's their next opponent, they can help them as well. Now, here is the 64 team bracket. I'm going to give you the top 16. So I'll give you the number 1 seeds, the number 2 seeds, number 3 seeds, and number 4 seeds. Thank you, Connie. I really appreciate it. I am trying my best to work hard. This weekend will be a very busy weekend for me because we have Count the Bucket, we got All-Star Weekend, and we got March Madness. There's a lot going on, Connie. I'm trying my best, Connie. I really am. But I appreciate the love. Connie and Michael go on at 9 Central, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Backstop Banter. Preseason baseball is here. They have a lot to discuss. The Yankees got the brakes beat off of them today, Connie. I'm sorry. I saw that score. I said they didn't score not one run. Connie, I'm not sure how you're feeling about your Yankees this season, but that loss today, I know it's just preseason, but I saw that score on Twitter and I said, whoa, I wonder how Connie feels. So you'll probably be taking your frustrations out on Backstop Banter tonight when you talk about your Yankees, or if you don't want to talk about it, it's a sensitive subject. I understand, Connie. But I did see that Yankee score, and I don't think you're too happy with that. All right, number 1 seeds. Overall, number 1 is UConn. So we got UConn, Stanford, South Carolina, and Texas A&M. South Carolina is still number 1 seed. Very interesting. Number 2 seeds, Louisville, Baylor, finally moved up to that 2 seed. NC State and Maryland. Number 3 seeds, we got Indiana, Georgia, Arizona, and UCLA. Number 4 seeds, we have Arkansas, Tennessee, West Virginia, and Michigan. So those are your top 16 for the women's bracket. Your top 16. Now, I know I've been saying that the SEC is the best conference in women's college basketball. Now, I've been saying that for a while. I know that I have not been showing respect and love to the ACC. The ACC is also one of the top conferences in women's college basketball as well. I haven't been showing love to the ACC, and I apologize. I apologize to the ACC. Let me see if I can pull up the ACC. There it is. So Louisville plays Wake Forest on Friday. Tomorrow, Syracuse plays Florida State. NC State's opponent to be announced, and Georgia Tech's opponent to be announced. So your top 4 seeds have to be Louisville, Florida State, NC State, and Georgia Tech. The way this is set up, let's see who played today. Okay, Wake Forest beat North Carolina. Syracuse beat Boston College. Virginia Tech beat Miami. And Clemson is playing Notre Dame tonight. Okay, let me see on Wednesday. The first round, Boston College beat Pitt. All right, so the ACC, the top has to be 3 seeds. Your top 3 seeds get a bye because Florida State's already played and Syracuse has already played, if I'm looking correctly. No, Syracuse is the only one that's played. Sorry, Syracuse is the only one that's played. So Florida State is a top 4 seed. So Louisville, Florida State, NC State, and Georgia Tech are your top 4 seeds in the ACC tournament. And Syracuse gets to tackle Florida State. Wake Forest gets to tackle Louisville. Good luck. NC State's opponent to be announced and Georgia Tech's opponent to be announced. So let's look at their potential opponents. So I'm assuming, are we going to get a rematch of Virginia Tech and NC State? I think we might. I think that's who NC State would play. If I'm thinking correctly, they beat Miami tonight. Are we going to get that rematch that we all want? I want to see that rematch. So the series is tied 1-1 with NC State right now. NC State 1-1, Virginia Tech 1-1. That was one of the upsets this season. Will they get that tiebreaker matchup? I think they do. I think NC State is playing Virginia Tech because they just won today. And I think Georgia Tech gets the winner of Clemson and Notre Dame. Notre Dame's on the outside looking in, so Notre Dame needs to get this win against Clemson and a potential upset against Georgia Tech to get in, according to Charlie Cream. So you have to make noise in your conference tournaments. Now, the Big 12 is still playing. There are other conferences that are still playing as well. So the Big East is also, their tournament starts on Friday. So the Big East first round starts Friday. We got Xavier and St. John's, Butler and Providence, Georgetown and Creighton. That starts on Friday. The Big Ten. Nope. Nothing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wait a minute. Let's see. Has the Big Ten announced their tournament? Because it's not showing on ESPN when they start their tournament. There are games on Friday. There are 2 games in the Big Ten on Friday. There was a game tonight. There was a game. Iowa lost to Indiana. I hope Iowa gets in because I really want to see Caitlin Clark in the tournament. I don't know when the Big Ten women are playing their tournament. I'm going to look that up, guys, and find out when the Big Ten women are playing their tournament because it doesn't show me on ESPN. Let's look at the Pac-12 is playing now. Let's look at the Big 12 when they start their tournament. TCU beat Oklahoma. That's tough for OU. Iowa State beat Kansas yesterday, and West Virginia beat Kansas State. Baylor plays Kansas on Saturday. Oklahoma can beat K-State. They might have a chance. And Texas plays TCU. Okay, West Virginia plays Baylor on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, guys, I'm going to look this up because this is really driving me nuts. I want to know when the Big 12 tournament for the women's is going to start. For the men's, the men's start on, they're playing at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. The men start March the 10th, and they go through the 13th. So Wednesday, March the 10th, the men start their tournament. That's good to know. Big 12 women's. Let me see when the women's tournament starts. So their tournament, the women's tournament starts. They're playing in Kansas City, Missouri as well. And they start their tournament on March the 11th. The 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th is their final game. So the men start the 10th through the 13th, and the women go the 11th through the 14th. So the first round is on the 11th. The quarterfinals is on the 12th. The semifinals is on the 13th, and championship Sunday, of course, is on the 14th. So the men's championship has to be on that Saturday. Let me go back and look at their bracket. Yeah, they have their championship on Saturday. Okay, just as I thought. All right, so the Big 12 women's tournament starts next week. It starts March the 11th. Let's see when the Big 10 starts their tournament. 10 women's tournament. The women start their tournament. It's going to be in Indianapolis, March 9th through the 13th. So they're getting ready to start their tournament. They start their tournament March 9th through the 13th. The Big East starts tomorrow. So a lot of great action this weekend that I have to keep up with, and I'm going to try my best. Right now, I still think there are 7 to 8 teams that can win it for the women. I said 7. And the number keeps kind of going up because we keep getting upsets. 7 or 8 teams for the women that could win it. And I want to say that number and leave it at that, but I know it's probably going to change. I'm going to look at the standings and see what the top 25 looks like this week. Let's go ahead and look at that. Um, Rankings. Let's do the top 25. So we got UConn, Texas A&M, NC State, Stanford, Louisville, Baylor, South Carolina dropped all the way down to 7. Maryland, UCLA, Indiana, Arizona, Michigan, Arkansas, Tennessee, South Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Gonzaga, Oregon. They lost to Oregon State. West Virginia, South Dakota State, Ohio State, Missouri State, Rutgers, and DePaul. So those are your top 25 for the women. Now, could Maryland win it? Sure. And they're number 8. Could UCLA win it? Sure. They're number 9. I mean, Arizona has one of the best point guards in the country. It's just so much, guys. It's a lot. And I really think that it's up for grabs this season. Usually during women's basketball time, you kind of know, okay, UConn's going to win it this year, or okay, Baylor's going to win it, or okay, Tennessee's going to win it. You kind of knew. You've had some surprises. Notre Dame won it. You had some sprinkle of some surprises in there, when Mississippi State upset UConn. There are always some surprises in this tournament, but I think it's probably going to come down to those top 8 teams, unless one of these other teams like Kentucky, I believe. I'm a strong believer in Kentucky. I'm a strong believer in UCLA. Tennessee's had their moments. West Virginia probably could sneak in and make some noise in that Sweet 16. They probably could make some noise. West Virginia could. There are some teams that could potentially upset one of those teams at the top. But I still think those teams at the top have set themselves apart from everyone else. Now, then again, it's one game from a team you probably haven't played before. You don't know their style of basketball. And it's anybody's game at that point. That's what makes the NCAA tournament so great. That's what makes March Madness so great. Somebody said that Future's March Madness song should be the anthem every time CBS comes on or ESPN comes on for the women, of course. The men play on True TV, they play on TNT, they play on TBS, and they play on CBS. The women play on ESPN, ESPN2. They're spread over those ESPN networks. So I honestly believe that Future's song March Madness should be the tournament anthem. And you cannot change my mind about that. It's just so fitting. The kids know who Future is. I like One Shining Moment. I love it. I like it. I love it. It gets you all sentimental. It gets you all choked up. But if we play Future March Madness for the whole tournament, I wouldn't be upset. I don't think people would be upset about that either. So that's my take on the women's side. Conference tournaments are revving up. This weekend will be a busy weekend for me. I got All-Star weekend. I got conference tournaments, of course. And then next weekend, the men's start. So I got to do men's and women's conference tournaments. It's going to be a lot that's going to be going on here for me the next couple of weeks. So couple that in with All-Star weekend, NFL news, NBA news. I shared some baseball news with you, Connie. I'm sorry about that. But if you want to know about baseball, Backstop Answer goes on at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. All right, let's look at the men's side. We got some men's games going on right now. And let's look at the men's side. We got an in-state rival. In-state rivals are playing right now. So Michigan lost to Illinois. Okay. All right. Now they're playing Michigan State tonight. And let's see how they are faring. They are currently handling Michigan State 36-59. Tom Izzo is probably going to have a hard time trying to get in the tournament. His team was ranked in the top 6 or 7 when the season started. But Juwan Howard has his Wolverines playing very well after a loss. They did lose to Illinois, which was very shocking. Very, very shocking. Texas Tech is playing Iowa State right now on ESPN+. Oh, that Michigan State and Michigan game is on ESPN. It's late in the second half. Michigan is going to pull away with that one. Iowa State and Texas Tech. Texas Tech is handling business late in the second half. Oklahoma State and Baylor. Late in the second half, Oklahoma State got back-to-back wins against Oklahoma. We got swept in Bedlam. They played over the weekend and they played again on Monday. It's okay. And I know I told you guys that Oklahoma State cannot play in the tournament. I read and did my research. They actually are eligible for the NCAA tournament. I thought they had an NCAA ban this season, but I read somewhere where they are eligible to play in the tournament this season. So you will be seeing Cade Cunningham because when I looked, Joe Lunardi had them as a 4 seed. So they swapped places with OU. They beat OU back-to-back. Right now, they're hanging in there with Baylor. They're hanging in there with Baylor on ESPN2. It is 58-64. Baylor took a loss. They lost to Kansas. So we're going to see if Baylor can bounce back. TCU is giving West Virginia a run for their money. It is 46-53 there on ESPN+. West Virginia has moved up to number 6 in the rankings. Baylor just dropped to number 3. Why is Kansas playing UTEP? Is this a makeup game this late in the season? It might be a makeup game, but Kansas is playing UTEP, and UTEP is winning by 12. Matt, I'm doing great this fine Thursday. How are you? Besides my face peeling, I'm doing excellent. Ready for March Madness. Excited to talk about March Madness. Excited to talk about All-Star Weekend. I know the draft is going on right now. We'll talk about that on Count the Bucket. But Spicy Queso, I'm doing great. How are you doing, Matt? I appreciate the support. Yes, UTEP is playing Kansas. I'm trying to figure out if this is a makeup game because it is out of conference this late in the season. So it might be a makeup game, and UTEP is winning 34-20. So Kansas looks like if it doesn't get it together, it could be an upset. Oklahoma State has cut their lead to 4. They're in Waco. Oh, man, that is a great game. Nebraska is playing Iowa tonight. I know Garrett probably be watching that game. Arizona State is playing Colorado. And Texas is playing OU. They're ready for rivalry. Texas is playing OU. Matt asked me, how far do you think OU can go in March Madness? OU cannot rebound and save their lives. And that's what killed them against Oklahoma State. Cade Cunningham didn't do damage in the second game. He did damage in the first game, but not so much in the second game. They could not rebound. If OU cannot fix their rebounding problems, they will have a first-round exit. I think OU could potentially reach the top 16, be in the Sweet 16. I think they have the potential to do that. Maybe even the Elite 8 if they could rebound the basketball. They can defend, they can score, but they cannot rebound the basketball to save their lives. And you got to be able to rebound the basketball in college. So, well, any professional basketball or college, it doesn't matter, high school, you got to be able to rebound the basketball. That's just that. But in college, especially because of the shot clock. In the NBA, you get a rebound, the shot clock resets to 14. In college, it resets all the way. So that's an extra possession that you're losing, and you got to play on defense again. So I can see a Sweet 16 in their future, depending on their bracket. I'm going to look at their brackets in a minute and tell you what I think thus far, where Joe Lunardi has them in the bracket. But Sweet 16, I could see that. I could also see a first-round exit if they can't rebound. I could see a potential Elite 8 if they can rebound, play defense, and score the basketball. So that they have a broad future. They have a broad future. It could go either way, Matt. I would really love to see them get as far as they can with this team because no one thought that they would be good this year, and they've turned out to be pretty darn good. Even though they took back-to-back losses to Oklahoma State, they got Texas tonight in Norman. So hopefully they can bounce back from those back-to-back losses to Oklahoma State. Cade Cunningham went crazy in the first game. They couldn't rebound the basketball. The second game, they couldn't rebound the basketball. So that's their issue. If they can fix that issue, I think they could go far. Baylor has stretched their lead out to 60-69. TCU and West Virginia, 48-55. Michigan is still all over Michigan State, 36-64. And Texas Tech is still all over Iowa State, 47-79. Now, let's look at their bracket. Let's look at bracketology. Let's look what Joe Lunardi has. This was updated on the 4th. This was updated today. Gonzaga, top overall seed. We knew that. First team out, Seton Hall. Last team in, Boise State. The first 4 byes, Louisville, Rutgers, Georgia Tech, VCU. Last 4 in, Drake, Michigan State, Xavier, Boise State. This thumping that they're taking in Ann Arbor right now is not helping Michigan State at all. First 4 out, Seton Hall, St. Louis, Utah State, and Duke. There's a blue blood in there. Actually, there are 2. Well, I don't know if Michigan State, do you guys consider Michigan State a blue blood? I want to know. I really want to know. The next 4 out, Syracuse, SMU, Memphis, and Ole Miss. So the first 4 bracket, Prairie View, North Carolina A&T as your 16 seeds, and you got Xavier, Boise State as your 12 seeds, Texas State and Wagner as your 16 seed, Drake and Michigan State as your 11 seed. So that's what the bracket looks like for the men. It's a little bit different. Your top 16 seeds, I'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4, of course. Your 1 seed, Gonzaga, Baylor, Illinois, and Michigan. Your 2 seeds, Houston, a scary team down there in Houston. Shout out to Kelvin Sampson. Houston, Ohio State, Alabama, and Iowa. Shout out to Alabama for winning the SEC. Congratulations. All right, your number 3 seeds, West Virginia, Villanova. Villanova had a key injury. I'm going to talk about her in a minute. Florida State, I think they're the best team in the ACC. Shout out to Caleb, his Florida State Noles, number 3 seed. They have a rocket going up. In Arkansas, shout out to Arkansas, I think they're number 2 in the SEC right now. Number 4 seeds, Kansas. They have an arrow going down. Oklahoma State, shout out to Oklahoma State. Texas and Purdue. All right, and OU right now he has as a Creighton number 5. Where does he have OU? He has OU as a 5 seed, and they're in Region 2. So they are in Baylor's region as a 5 seed. Ohio State's in their region. Villanova's in their region, and Purdue is in their region as well. And Texas Tech is in their region. So he has 3 Big 12 teams in their region. Baylor, OU, and Texas Tech. Texas Tech is the 6 seed. Looking at that region, it's going to be tough. Because you got Ohio State, the number 2 in the Big 10 right now, I believe, if I'm thinking correctly. You got Texas Tech, and then you got Baylor, and then you got Oklahoma, and you got Purdue, who's playing very well, and Villanova. Villanova had a key injury. So that bracket looks tough. If it stays the way that Joe Lunardi thinks it's going to stay, I think if OU beats Texas and makes a run in the Big 12 tournament, they can get a different seed. I don't know if they would move them to a different bracket. I'm not quite sure how Joe Lunardi does that, Matt. But looking at the bracket right now, it looks a little tough. You got 2 other teams in your conference in that bracket. You have a team I think is the best conference in college basketball in the Big 10. They're probably going to get the most teams in. I think they also have the most teams in their conference. I know the ACC has a lot of teams in their conference as well. But let's look at the breakdown of the bracket. And I want to do this for the women's too, but I'm going to do the men's first. And I'm going to break it down by conference. Usually Joe Lunardi does this. Let me see if he has it on here for me to do. Let's see if I can go by conference. Nope, he doesn't have it on here. So I'm going to have to do bracketology by conference. I think I spelled it wrong. I want to see let's see, updated daily. Okay. Projected bids. These are projected bids for each conference. He's got the Big 10 at 8.8. The ACC is 7.3. The Big 12 at 7. The SEC at 6. The Big East at 4.8. The Pac 12 at 4.2. American at 2.4. Atlantic 10 at 2.2. So he has projected bids for the Big 10. Michigan, Illinois, Ohio State. Maybe Illinois is the number. Yeah, Illinois is the second best team in the Big 10. Iowa, Purdue, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Michigan State. Michigan State is barely hanging on, but this loss to Michigan does not help their case at all. All right, the ACC, he has Florida State, Clemson, Virginia, Louisville, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, and Syracuse. The Big 12, he has Baylor, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma, and Texas Tech. These are projected bids, guys. In the SEC, he has Alabama, Arkansas, Missouri, Florida, LSU, and Tennessee. The Big East, we have Villanova, Creighton, Connecticut, Seton Hall, and Xavier. The Pac-12, he has USC, Colorado, Oregon, and UCLA. The American Athletic, he has Houston and Wichita State. The Atlantic 10, he has VCU, St. Bonaventure, I can never say that right, and St. Louis. The West Coast Conference, which is Gonzaga's conference, the WCC, he has Gonzaga and BYU. Mountain West, he just has San Diego State. The Missouri Valley, he has Loyola, Chicago. Conference USA, he has North Texas. Mid-American Conference, he has Toledo. Patriot League, Colgate. Colonial Athletic Association, James Madison, they always get in. Southern Conference, he has Furman. Southland Conference, he has Abilene Christian. Ohio Valley Conference, Belmont, they get in every year. Missouri State's also in that conference. If you know Missouri State, you know John Morant. He made a name for himself in the March Madness and became the second overall pick in the draft. In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, he has Norfolk State. Big West Conference, UCSB. I think that's University of California, Santa Barbara, if I'm thinking correctly. Sunbelt, Georgia State. They make it a lot. Big Sky Conference, East Washington. Northeast Conference, Bryant. The Southern Athletic Conference, he has Texas Southern. Shout out to HBCU. Big South Conference, Winthrop. They always get in. The Metro Athletic Conference, he has Siena. The Western Athletic Conference, he has Grand Canyon. GCU. That's their initials, the abbreviation. Summit Conference, South Dakota State. Oral Roberts is hanging right there. Oral Roberts has one of the best scores in the country. The Horizon, he has Cleveland State. Athletic Sun Conference, he has Liberty. The American East Conference, he has Vermont. They always seem to get in. Whew. So for the men, those are the projected bids. So this came out, I wonder when this came out. Let me scroll to the bottom and see when this came out for the men's. It doesn't give me a day. It doesn't give me a day. Let me look and see. So it's updated daily. So that projected bids, teamrankings.com, is updated daily. So I'm assuming that as of today, those are the projected bids for each conference. And it looks about right. Let's look at the women. Let's look at the projected wins for the projected conference breakdown for the women. Okay, they have it here. This is not, this is the men's. I need the women's. Why won't they give me? I want to see the women. Let's see what this says. Let's see if they can break it down by conference on here. They didn't do that either. All right, I'm probably going to have to do this on my own, so bear with me. I'm going to have to do this on my own. Yeah, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm just going to go ahead and do this on my own for the women. This is going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult because I'm going to have to look at the bracket. So I'm going to do the major conferences for the women. I'm going to do the major conferences for the women. So, in the Big 12, I'll start with the Big 12 first. We got Iowa State. That's 1. Baylor, that's 2. Oklahoma State, that's good to see them in. That's 3. West Virginia, that's 4. Is Texas? And Texas is 5. So the Big 12 has 5 teams in for the women. Texas, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, Iowa State, and Baylor. Hope I'm right. Yes, and Baylor. That's it for the Big 12. The SEC, we got Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, Texas A&M. That's 6 so far. Kentucky, that's 7. Mississippi State, that's 8. So we got 8 teams from the SEC in. Mississippi State, Texas A&M, South Carolina, Kentucky. Wow, that's 4 over there. We got Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and Arkansas. That's 8 teams from the SEC that are getting in. Now, I don't know if Mississippi State's going to get in after that loss they took. So we're gonna see about that. He's gonna have to update this bracket. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be different next week. Of course, it's gonna be different next week because by next week you would have a SEC champ, a Pac-12 champ. The Big 12 tournament would just have started, so you're not gonna have a champ there. You're gonna have the Big East and so on and so forth. Let's look at the ACC. Virginia Tech, that's 1. North Carolina is 2. Notre Dame is 3. Notre Dame is the ACC, right? For women's basketball. Yep, they're the ACC. So that's 3 so far. Louisville is 4. Syracuse is 5. Florida State is 6. Georgia Tech is 7. NC State is 8. They have 8 teams as well. So the SEC and the ACC both have 8 teams. The Big 12 has 5. Let's look at the Big 10. Let's look at the Big 10. Who is in the Big 10? I got to think about the Big 10 for a minute. We got Michigan State on there, Indiana, Northwestern. Is Syracuse in the ACC? Syracuse is in there. The ACC, that's 9 teams in the ACC. I miss Syracuse, I believe. So we got 3 teams in the Big 10. We got Michigan. Rutgers is the Big 10, I believe. Yep, Rutgers, that's 5. and Maryland is 6. So the Big Ten has 6 teams in. All right, let me look at the Big East. I only see a couple of teams from the Big East. I know UConn's in the Big East. They moved to the Big East. So UConn, Marquette, DePaul. Is Seton Hall not on here? 3 teams from the Big East. UConn, Marquette, and DePaul. I don't see Seton Hall on here. Oh, man. I lost my page. I think that's it for the Big East. The Pac-12, this is the last conference I'll do. We got Stanford. We've got Washington State. Oregon State. They helped their cause beating Oregon. Arizona, UCLA, that's 6. So the Pac-12 has 6 teams. So the ACC has 9. I believe they have the most. The SEC has 7 or 8. Those conferences are loaded. And then you have a bunch of small teams like Mount St. Mary's, High Point, Florida Gulf Coast, Maine, University of Tennessee, Martin, UCF. Let me see. UCF took a loss. They're in the American. You got Rice on here, UC Davis. You got Dayton, Samford, North Carolina A&T, Idaho State, Louisiana, Wright State, South Dakota State, Delaware, Missouri State, Bucknell, Jackson State, Utah Valley. So you got Marist. You got those little teams in there that are going to make some noise. I can't wait to watch, see if I can see an upset. So that's the breakdown of the women's and men's brackets, also the conference tournaments. I'm keeping this show underneath an hour. That's all I want to talk about today. Now, next week, I will talk about conference tournaments. I want to do conference awards as well because there are some awards handed out. I told you guys that Villanova has an injury they're dealing with, I believe. Let me look. They lost Colin Gillespie is out for Villanova. He's going to miss the rest of the season. He tore his MCL. So that's a huge blow to Jay Wright's Villanova Wildcats. I think they're number 3 seed right now. So that's a huge blow to them. Let me look at the men's scores really quick, women's scores really quick, and we're going to get out of here. Michigan State lost to Michigan, 50-69. Oklahoma State and Baylor. Looks like Baylor's going to pull it out, 70-77 Baylor. TCU and West Virginia. Looks like West Virginia going to pull that one out, 73-62. UTEP and Kansas still at halftime, 34-20. I think that's a makeup game. Iowa State lost to Texas Tech, 54-81. We got Arizona State and Colorado on ESPN2 and about they're getting ready to start. And then OU and Texas is getting ready to start as well. All right, for the women's, Ole Miss is beating Arkansas right now late in the second quarter, 31-28. LSU beat Mississippi State, 71-62. Wake Forest beat UNC, 82-71. Those are conference tournaments, guys. Maryland beat Michigan, 88-63. That's the Big Ten. They haven't started their conference tournament yet. SEC conference tournament. Florida, Kentucky pulled that one out. Boston College lost to Syracuse. That's the ACC. They're in the conference tournament. USC and Stanford, the Pac-12's in conference, of course. So if Ole Miss can pull that off, Arkansas will still get in, but it will help Ole Miss get into that tournament. I think they're the last 4 out. According to Charlie Cream, they are last 4 out. Arch Madness, guys, it's so exciting to talk about and to get into. I want to do conference awards for men's and women's as well. I'm going to make time to do that on this show. I also want to do All-Americans because the All-Americans will come out probably in a couple of weeks. But you got your conference, first team, second team, third team. I will do that next show on top of probably talking about conference tournaments as well. I'm going to try to fit that into an hour. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try. Before I get out of here, I want to share my screen with you guys and talk about some products. All right. We got mybookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. Also, we have become a part of the Patreon. Become a part of the Patreon. $1, you're just a fan. $5 a month, you are part of the family. And $10 a month, of course, you're VIP. Congratulations to me, which is Amber. I finally won something. I won that Keenan Allen jersey, and I am very, very excited about it. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. I'm very excited about winning that jersey because, like I said, I don't win anything at all. So you guys will see the jersey once I get it. Okay, we got rxhemp.com. Use the code rxhemp/USN to get 10% off your entire order. CBD cream, cool and warm therapy made with all natural products, and celebrities have been using it. So you guys check out rxhemp.com and use that code and get 10% off of your order. Also, I think I showed you guys. I hope I showed you guys that screen share. I think I did share that screen. Also, teespring.com. I got my shirt on right now, my ladies first shirt, and I also have my ladies first mug. All the live lineups have gear, and we also have the Unwrapped Sports OG logos. Of course, I have shirts, I have sweats, I have stickers on the back of my computer. I have this sticker, and I have this sticker, and I have this shirt in gray and in black, and I have this sweatshirt. I have it in a hoodie in gray. What else do I have? I'm getting ready to buy all the live lineup gear, the Hard Count, the Proc Bros, Fights Unwrapped, Generation Z, the Fourth Man Pod, the People's XFL. Of course, you guys see Ladies First. Saturday Standouts, Backstop Banter, which starts at 9 Central and 10 Eastern. Basketball Casuals, that's Aaron. Him and CJ did a great show today. Keeping It Blunt with Perry and Caleb. They have a YouTube channel, Keeping It Blunt on YouTube. You guys should go subscribe. And then the Best Unwrapped Ticket t-shirt. So if you become a part of the Patreon, you get 10% off if you get the $5 per month option, or you get 20% off if you get the $10 per month option. Okay, guys, that is it for Ladies First. I'll be back next week talking more March Madness. I'm going to do the all conference teams. Hopefully those are out. Talk about men's tournament, as well as talk about the women's tournaments and their champs. I'm going to try to keep it at an hour. We're going to see how that goes. I hope you guys enjoyed the NBA draft of the All-Stars. I wasn't able to watch it, but I'll get on Twitter and see who drafted who. If you guys do not know, Michael and I will be doing Count the Bucket at 9:30 Central Time on Saturday. We're going to talk All-Star Weekend. We're going to talk about our draft. We have a little bet going on, so we're going to see which team wins. And also, we probably will be doing the dunk contest, three-point contest, and streaming the fourth quarter of the All-Star game. But until next week, guys, I will see you guys later.